Gonna record. Here we go. Hi and welcome everybody. My name is Krista Jack and I'm the president of the Lakeville Area Chamber of Commerce. And this webinar is brought to you as a part of Real-Time Solutions, brought to you by the Apple Valley, Burnsville, Hastings, Lakeville, and River Heights Chambers of Commerce. And just to remember that the goals of these webinars is to be able to address business concerns and questions as we continue to navigate through the pandemic. And we want to give a special series shout out to our series sponsor, Dakota Electric. They are a strong advocate for our business community, for our chambers, and so we're very thankful to have them as a sponsor. And just a reminder, everyone is muted this morning, but if you do have questions for Ann, go ahead and type it in the Q&A feature and we will get to those. And one of these things, this is a little bit different than what we normally do. Our normal cadence is Wednesday mornings, 8 a.m. We do things, this is very specific to our restaurant community. And obviously we know our restaurant community has been hit so hard during this pandemic and continues to be hit so hard. And so we wanted to do something that really helps you. And as you navigate through this winter, what are some things that we can do to help you really maximize your ROI? And so we're so excited to talk to Ann Reynolds. Ann Reynolds is one of the managing partners at Hooker & Company Advertising. She's worked with a lot of restaurants on maximizing their ROI. And so she's going to be talking to us about different things that deal with how you can increase your presence and your brand and strategies through this. And so, Ann, we're so excited to have you. I know you've got a lot of great information, and so I don't want to take up too much time, but I'm going to let you take it away. And again, just to remind everyone, if there's any technical issues, just give us a shout on Q&A. So thank you so much for being here, Ann. Go ahead, take it away.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much for that kind introduction, Krista, and thank you everyone for taking the time to come here to talk to us about this. And this is something that is very near and dear to my heart. We have done a lot of work at Hooker & Company with people in the food and beverage space across the board, whether they're manufacturers, whether they're grocers, whether they're distributors, whether they're restaurants. And we've really been able to do a lot of work to understand the industry, understand the ebbs and flows of the industry, and help people to maximize their return on investment from a marketing standpoint and from a strategic standpoint. And so obviously we've got a lot of clients who have been through a lot of things here in the last 8 months as we've been trying to navigate through COVID-19 and the changing dynamics that we've got going on. And so what I wanted to do with you is share with you some of the best practices that we've learned, we've implemented. And one of the things about us at Hooker & Company is that we're creative and we're strategists, but we're lifelong learners as well. And so not only are we paying attention to what we're doing with our clients, but we're paying attention to what's happening in your industry around the US and saying what are things that are working and what are things that we can work to implement in our current and local environment to help our clients be successful and not only to survive, but start to thrive through some of this process. So with that, we're going to jump in. There's a few key areas that we really want to focus on today. One is safety and letting your customer know what your measures are. 2 is your brand. 3 is ease of use for consumers. Partnerships, digital marketing, it really is a must. So we're going to spend a lot of time there and how to get creative. And then just to wrap up with some final thoughts. And as Krista had mentioned, the goal here is to be able to have a dialogue and for me to be able to help you as much as I can to figure out how we can work through what you're experiencing, what you're seeing, and how we can help you to be successful on the other side of this. So the first thing is safety, and it's letting customers know how you're keeping everyone safe from COVID. And so what we're seeing right now is that people want to know it, they want to see it, and they want to hear it, and they want to experience it. So a big piece of this is making sure you've got clear protocols that are being followed, but then that people are also going to see in your digital environment. Now, when we see somebody in a picture without a mask, we do a double take and we say, hey, that must be old. I wonder what they're doing now. And so really making sure that you're keeping consistent on your safety message and that people are seeing those images of your staff, of your customers, of your team, doing those things that are going to keep them safe and going to keep your clients safe, because obviously it is of the utmost importance and top of mind. So the key takeaways there are to make sure, 1, that you've got good rigor in your safety protocols, but 2, that you're updating your imagery in terms of how people are seeing and experiencing your restaurant from a digital standpoint on your website, in your advertising, what have you, so that they know that this is something that you're truly doing and that they can feel safe while being part of your facility, whether it's to dine in or to have takeout. But we do see that when our customers are updating imagery that has the safety protocols, it has the masks, it has the precautions that you're taking, they do get a much better response and they get a much better lead rate, because of the fact that it's helping people to be able to envision themselves being able to safely be a part of your community and a part of your dining experience. So the next thing is to say, how do we create brand experience? And we want to make sure that as we're looking at our brand experience, is that your brand really needs to be built around your target market. And right now we know that brand is more important than it's ever been, because of the way that people are interacting with your brand in your locations, and the way that people are making decisions about where they're going to spend their money, where they're going to spend their time, and how they're going to make some adjustments in their life as a result of the current dynamics with COVID. And so how do we make sure that we have a brand that really is communicating to your core target market, and that we're being consistent across your platforms, so that you have a cohesive brand, and so that people aren't confused about who, what, where, when, how, or why, because they know what you stand for. And we know that your brand identity has a very direct impact on customer loyalty. And what we are seeing right now is that when customers are choosing to be loyal, they're being extremely loyal, because they're starting to take the success of restaurants and the success of other local business. This is almost a personal objective. With how many restaurants have had to close here in the last 8 months, people are becoming very protective. And how do we build that core, and how do we build that customer loyalty? And how do we make sure that we understand the wants and the needs of the market around us, and really focus on those things, and make sure that our messaging, our imagery, our dialogue is focused on the things that are going to bring people in and get people excited. And so you think about things that are you known for being a health food? Are you known for your amazing desserts? Are you known as a place where people used to go on a first time date? And how do you still protect all of those things? Are you targeting families on the go, because people feel more stressed out than they ever have before? And is there a way for you to be able to communicate how you can help people in that situation? And so targeting the right people is the most important predictor of your success, and really not trying to be everything to everyone, because we've all bought a one size fits all shirt, and it really means one size fits none. And so how do we really truly hone in on the people that have made you successful, and continue to support that group, drive loyalty, and then grow people that are similar to that look and feel of your customer base? And we want to make sure that with our brand, we're being creative, we're being memorable, and we're not afraid to stand out. So the people that are finding ways to put a smile on people's face, and finding ways to get people to say, did you see this ad, are having a lot of success. And we're seeing it happen because people are looking for reasons to smile. People are looking for reasons to be happy, and they're looking for ways to be able to support their local communities. So once we figure out how we're really talking to our core brands, some of the things that are consistent across the board is that life feels extremely hard right now, and people are tired, and that consumer fatigue is setting in a lot of places, and cooking at home is just one of them. And what we're finding study after study, whether it's local studies, whether it's national studies, is that people want to return to some form of normalcy. People want to be able to enjoy eating out again. People want to enjoy those experiences, but we know that the new normal is different. And so what we're seeing is restaurants that have followed these plans are seeing a stronger uptake and a stronger return to success, and some are actually starting to outperform previous years. One is online ordering. People want to be able to have things be quick, easy, and simple to understand, and online ordering is a big part of that. And so to be able to have effective online ordering, we need to make sure we have updated online menus. And for a lot of people, what we're seeing is when they are putting in family meal plans, it's parents who have the fatigue of, one, trying to figure out what they're going to serve for dinner, And two, just saying, how do I get all of this done when trying to do distance learning, with trying to work, with trying to be a parent, trying to be an individual. To have family plans that help them fit into their meal plans have been a very successful tool for a lot of people to be able to engage the local community and to increase their sales. Additionally, if people are going to come in and eat in, they want it to be easy. They want to be able to do it from their phones. We're never more than a few inches from our phones typically. And if we are, then we start to have a panic attack. So by having an online reservation system that's ideally linked into your Google My Business account, as well as your website, will help you to fill those seats and help with that ease of use and experience for your customers. Obviously, delivery is something that we're seeing take off, and we're seeing McKinsey just put out a study that continues to show companies that are participating in delivery, whether it's their own or through one of the many service apps, are continuing to see an increase in the volume of people that are ordering from their restaurants and in participating in the services that they have. Safe curbside takeout is another must, as people are looking for ways to be able to enjoy the things that they love, because as Americans, we love food, but to be able to do it safely. And then to have those online payment systems to be able to make sure that we have the opportunity and the capability to really have that contactless experience so that people can pay online. It's easy, it's simple, it's safe, and people know that they can do as much as possible through either their phones or their PCs to really make sure that it is a safe, seamless transition from this is what I want because it's going to make it easier for me. I don't feel like cooking. I don't want to have to decide what we're going to make for dinner. And being able to order it online, understand what you have, a meal plan, or if you want to go in to be able to make that online reservation and be able to have a safe way to have that food delivered or transported to you and paid for. And right now, the things that are easy for people are the things that people are doing, and they're going back to time and time again because they want normalcy. They want something to feel easy. They just want to smile. One of the things that we're seeing really take off in local markets is partnerships with local businesses and clubs. And so we've seen this happen in a couple of different ways, and they've been very successful. What we've seen is that local businesses are willing to purchase gift cards from your restaurants to give as promotions during the holiday season. So it's working with, whether it's a car dealership, if it is a local realtor, different people who are willing to say, hey, we'll help promote your business along the way if you through gift cards, and to help you get your name out there and help spread your business opportunities. Friend of one of these Ace Hardware is somebody who purchased $100,000 in gift cards from local Minnesota restaurants for their holiday promos. So that's a great example. Kowalski's, the grocery store, we do a lot of work with them. They purchased several $1,000s worth of gift cards from local restaurants to give out to customers. And so it's really starting to look at where are some other local businesses, either in the chambers or through your own networks, that you could start to forge some of those relationships with. Again, we do have essential businesses that are open for work and need lunch, and they're seeing their number of opportunities diminish. Are there ways to be able to go target them and have conversations about catering specials and packages? We see a lot of success when people do work with their gift cards and are running special gift card promotions. We have one client that we've worked with where we've been doing work around their gift cards, and they've been averaging about $1,000 in gift card sales every weekend. And so we're starting to see continued success where people are wanting to give gift cards as a form of thank yous to teachers, to nursing staff, to employees, what have you. But there's a lot of different things we can do with gift cards to really help drive sales and to help with that cash flow and revenue as we're all managing through this. Like I mentioned, realtors are great. A lot of realtors will give their home buyers a gift as a welcome present. Something that's great is for them to be able to have a dinner in their new home and for you to be able to partner with them. We know that the real estate market is off the charts hot right now. And so finding those sorts of relationships and partnerships, and whether it's just being able to hand out a discount, a coupon, a family plan, something that you do special for that realtor's client, to be able to start to build that recognition, that brand dialogue, and that overall conversation will help you continue to generate new opportunities to get your brand, your restaurant, and your services in front of people. We're also seeing a lot of opportunities with local clubs, teams, and activities. Obviously, there's a lot of fundraisers that have been hit very hard by COVID-19 as well. And so when we're seeing local soccer teams, for example, team up with the local pizzeria, there's a lot of success in getting a lot of people to come buy that pizza on a Tuesday night because they're supporting a local business and they're supporting their club teams. And so finding those sorts of opportunities to get your name, your brand, and your packages in front of people is a big success in you giving back to the community and the community giving back to you as well. And then we've also seen people have some success, what we call pay it forward programs, where people can come in and make donations for nurses or for schools and or shelters, so that people know that by not only supporting your business, again, they're supporting another element of the community, because we know that the community is under duress as well. And so there's different things that we can do that can create brand awareness again and really start to drive that customer loyalty and to drive the sales for you, whether it's through dining room sales, takeout sales, gift cards, what have you, because there's a way to be able to do these things and get in front of your intended audiences, and it is being extremely well received on the other end at this point. To be able to do all of these things though, and to do them well, you've got to make sure that you are getting your message out there and that you're showing up where people are looking for the information. So first and foremost, we always want to make sure that your website is current and updated. And part of that updated piece is making sure that it's mobile ready and it's thinking mobile first, because people are on their phones and they're doing the vast majority of their browsing from phones. And we want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward when people are looking at restaurants near me or ideas for dinner, so that they're seeing it happen out there. Next is making sure that we've got a good, strong, active social media presence. So creating Instagram accounts, Facebook, Google My Business, Twitter, TikTok are all fantastic ways to be able to get in front of your target audience and make things happen. Now, one of the things that we want to make sure that we're doing, and you see it a couple points down below too, is that we're humanizing your business and telling your story. And so we want to make sure that as we're building out a content calendar in social media, that we're not solely focused on promotions or we're just solely focused on the food. We want to make sure that people are experiencing your restaurant. And so it should be experiencing it from your team member standpoint, experiencing it from other customers standpoint, and making sure that we're telling that story and we're bringing people along for the journey. And by using hashtags correctly in social media, we can generate followers, which allows us to go to that next Google point or that point of retargeting and really create search engine optimization to grow the number of people who are looking at, engaging with, and considering your restaurant as an opportunity for a place to eat and eat again. We also like to use Google Ads. Google Ads are extremely helpful. They give us great data and great trackability so that we make sure we show up when people search for what you offer. And we can really help you hone into that target market. We can do a lot of work between the social media platforms and Google to create what we call mirror audiences and make sure that we're showing up for the right people in the right places to be able to help you grow the number of people who are, again, aware of your restaurant and considering it and then coming in and making a purchase. You want to have a really strong blend of paid and unpaid advertising. And one of the things that we have really found held true right now is people miss competition, and contests are extremely valuable. And it doesn't have to be a contest for something big. It can be a contest for a free appetizer. It can be a contest for a t-shirt. But people are willing to like your social media pages, share your social media pages, and interact with you just for the opportunity to win something. We want to focus on, in a digital marketing perspective, what you're known for and what people need. So we want to say, where are our customers at right now? And how do we ensure that we're in that right place to have the right dialogue with them and focus on the things that are core to our business, and that we get the data to show us what's working and what's not working so that we can continue to do the things that are working and we can pull off of the things or modify the things that aren't. We want to reward loyalty and online reviews because now more than ever, people want to not only hear it from the business themselves, but they really want to hear it from the other people who are there dining and experiencing it at the same time. And in doing so, we want to make sure we manage our online reputation and that we're responding to positive and negative feedback, because it says just as much to the average user if you respond to a negative comment as if you do nothing to respond to a positive comment. And so we want to ensure that people understand we're hearing their feedback, we take it very seriously, and we're continually looking to improve. And so digital marketing is where we are seeing people start to thrive in this current market. When people are getting in front of people who are on their phones watching their computer screens more than they ever have before in their lives, to have the right content in the right medium at the right time is essential to helping you continue to maintain your current levels and grow your levels moving forward. And then last but not least, and I apologize, I have a tickle on my throat, you might need to look at adjusting your business models and coming up with some different ideas that can be fun, because people are looking for things to do as well. One of the things that's happening is Thanksgiving. One of the big questions out there is what's happening for Thanksgiving. And so how can we start to put together Thanksgiving packages or holiday packages for people so that the cooking's on your organization, or even potentially where you can send a Thanksgiving meal to someone, since we're not going to all be able to get together like we normally would. And so how do you get in the conversation around Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving gatherings in a way that you never have before? And maybe that's sending things to multiple homes and everybody eating together. Think about doing some grocery delivery where you can start to look at how you use your pantry to help people in your own markets to be able to create some of their own at-home creations. And then we're starting to see some people have some success with online cooking classes. People are just wanting something to do and looking for a way to be able to engage and support local communities. Another thing we're seeing is that people are starting to promote progressive virtual dinners, where 3 or 4 families are signing up for a dinner club and they all make their selections from your menu, and then we disperse it out to them so that they can all get together, they can all share that meal, and it can be a time of fun and laughter as they're experiencing it together for neighbors. Another thing that we do is we've seen people start to look at drive-in style events where you're looking at the Sonic model. Sonic's had off the charts success right now during COVID, and people are wanting a way to try and feel like they're getting together and they're enjoying the things they used to enjoy together. So that's another great way to be able to look at team events and say, is there something you can do in your parking lot that allows people to feel like they have a little bit of that opportunity to be together and have the opportunity to stay connected. And you know, when we talk about the holidays, it's not just Thanksgiving, it's food for the holidays. And it's the way to be able to share the gift of food, because you know, food is a very social element for people. So how do you share food for the holidays? How do you put together packages for New Year's Eve, which isn't something that people have done before? Again, the idea of family planning and allowing people to order and send holiday meals to family and friends who they can't be with. And again, socially distanced gatherings. How do we make those things happen for people so that they can feel connected, even though we need to stay a little bit further apart than we normally would? But the idea is, how do we get creative and how can we try things that don't have to be big risks for us? One of the nice parts about all of these things is that you can do a lot of things that are pre-ordered and pre-planned so that you can be making your purchases up front and you know exactly how much you need of anything so that you don't have a lot of waste or leftover, and it can help you understand what are the things that people are gravitating to and what are the things that they wish that they had. And so when we know that when we get your brand out there and we humanize your brand and that they remember that you're part of the community and you're part of the community that's helped and supported all of these different organizations for years, and we start to let them understand how they can come in, and they can come in an effective way, and we meet them where they're at, we can have a lot of success. All of these tactics can work for your business because we've seen them work for other businesses as well. But there's a couple of things that you absolutely can't lose sight of. Your online success of your restaurant is highly dependent on your offline performance. So we've got to make sure that through all of this chaos, you're still delivering at that same high quality that you're known for. You know, the safety has to be on point, the food has to be on point, the experience still has to meet the expectations that you're setting for your clients. We really would encourage you not to DIY your restaurant internet marketing. Get an expert if you want to stay on top of your game. And by getting an expert, it's making sure you have somebody who understands all of the ins and outs and can help you create that consistent platform across an organization. With really targeted marketing in the digital space and some creativity, we can do a lot with a pretty small budget to be able to help grow brand awareness, grow brand consideration, and drive sales and volume through any organization, and particularly in restaurants. And it's important that you're working hand in hand with your marketing team, and whether that's a one-off freelancer, a small agency, or a larger agency, so that you're working and you have that new content and you're staying up to date. Because when you feel fresh and exciting, people are excited to be doing business with you. And really, you just can't forget that execution is everything here. And it's making sure that we've got the right tools to be able to fully execute things, and that we don't come in and out of social media. The way social and digital marketing works is that you've got to stay present, you've got to have a cadence, and you've got to hold yourself accountable to it. Because if you're people who are random posters, or you don't have an overall strategy, you just don't get the same traction, you don't get the same following, you don't get the same engagement and results that when you really put together an overall cohesive plan. And so at the end of the day, we've had a lot of conversations with a lot of different parts of the food and beverage industry. And what we do see is that for restaurants who are following these steps and making sure that they've got a really strong safety message, and that they've done the work to update their online presence and their digital presence to show that safety message, that they understand their brand and they're promoting and they're living their brand on a regular basis, that they're using the local partnerships to help them drive their business, they're using digital, and they're getting creative, are being very successful in what they're able to do as an organization, again, to not only find ways to survive, but to find ways to thrive during this current environment. And so, Krista, I know we're pushing up against 8:30, so I wanted to turn it back over to you.
And that is such great information. I can't thank you enough for sharing it. And again, I think, like we said, we are going to be able to share this out. And I think you're going to add a slide with your contact information so that if people want to follow up with you and ask more questions, they're able to do so. And you kind of touched on it a little bit, and not to put you on the spot, but obviously that's one of the things, you know, with where restaurants are at, I think funds are always the concern. And, you know, paying for marketing and things like that, right? They, you know, these guys, a lot of them are really hurting. It sounds like from what you said, you can do this fairly affordably if someone did want to bring someone professional on board.
Absolutely. There's different ways. We call it balling on a budget, is what we affectionately call it, because that's what we're all trying to do, right? And so what our job is as professional marketers is to make sure we're meeting you where you're at and helping you figure out how you place those resources in the best possible way to help you be successful.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I cannot thank you enough for this information. It's such great information. And like I said, we've got it recorded. We'll send out the recording and the PDF of the information. I know we had a lot of restaurants that weren't able to join that want to see the information. So, Anne, I just can't thank you enough for your time and for sharing that with us. Again, you know, a special thank you to Dakota Electric for allowing us to bring this series to you. And again, just a reminder, this Real-Time Solutions webinar is a part of a series that we do weekly with the Apple Valley, Birdsville, Hastings, Lakeville, and River Heights Chambers of Commerce. And so we're so glad to be able to bring this information to you. So please reach out if you have any questions. And Anne, thank you again so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.